Hi everybody, welcome back. Katie here with another scrapbook layout. So this I kind of messed up a little bit. I took a picture of the beginning of the process and I accidentally did not video the beginning of the process. So I'll go back and tell you how I started. I started with those base wood grain papers. They are from Paper House Productions. They've got a really cute like mountain on the back, which I thought I was going to use. But I just could not pass up the opportunity to use this awesome wood grain. So that is what I used for my background. And then I grabbed my Echo Park Happy Camper collection kit, which is one I have used nearly all of. And all of these little pattern papers that you see on my layout come from what is the left of my Happy Camper kit. It's not very much, as you can see. Those pieces are pretty small, and that finished up the last bit of that collection, which I loved. But I went ahead and I inked all of the edges just to give them a little more definition, so they weren't quite as just stark sitting on the page. In order to do that, I used an older Tim Holtz distressed ink pad called Vintage Photo. I really like what it does to the edges, especially because the subject of my scrapbook page of my photos is a very outdoorsy scene. The photos, it's kind of hard to tell, but they are of my puppy when we went out to Red River Gorge in eastern Kentucky to go rock climbing. So we took our pup for the very first time. He had never been hiking or to any kind of climbing area, and he did pretty well for his first time. He is definitely a hiking dog and definitely has a lot more energy than me and is a better hiker than me, but that's okay. We definitely enjoyed taking him. So I went ahead and mounted all of the photos on this kind of mustard yellow cardstock, and it was way too bright for what I wanted, but I knew since I was just using it as a matte and I wanted to ink the edges, I knew it would end up just kind of making my photos pop rather than being way, way, way too bright as a mustard color on my page. So I grabbed the last little scrap of that polka dot paper, ink up the edges, and I use a little scrap of the mustard yellow again in order to create my journaling box. And I really like how this ended up coming together. Again, I was worried that that yellow was just too bright, but I do think that it worked out pretty well. So I go ahead and I'm using my Herma mounting square dispenser. I've got to be honest, the more I am using my Tombow tape runner, the less I like my mounting square dispenser, but I still have a lot of the adhesive and I'm going to use it all because goodness knows there is a lot to work on and I can definitely always use more adhesive. So I'm going ahead and writing a little journaling about our time at the gorge with Kip. I always like to make sure that I add journaling just to remember all the little pieces. I was actually just reading through one of my older scrapbooks that's probably 7 or 8 years old now, and reading some of the journaling I wrote and remembering the memories that honestly I had forgotten or pushed way back. It was just so much fun. So I think journaling is absolutely the most important part, second maybe to your photos, but it definitely preserves the memories very well. I have a bunch of these King Art pens that I really like to use. They are archival quality, so they are non-toxic, which is important to me just because it helps to preserve your scrapbooks even longer. If you use something like a Sharpie or a regular pen, over time the acid in it can kind of corrode what you've written and making it harder to see or even impacting your photos. So I always like to use those archival quality pens. Those I have, I think, 5 different sizes in them, and I picked them up at Tuesday Morning for I think just like $6. So you can get some good pens at a decent price. Now I am trying to figure out what I want my title to be, and I have majorly been into these thickers lately. I recently got a few new sets on sale at Joann's, and I'm picking out this first one. It says Adventure, and we were definitely out on an adventure when we went climbing. I was a little worried that the black would get lost on the wood grain, that dark brown page, but I think you can read it pretty easily. I grab this other word, it says wonderful, from a different thicker set, and I'm going to make the title. At first I was going to make it just Wonderful Adventure, but I do have this small alphabet sheet with kind of a lighter wood grain background on it, and I end up spelling out the word our, so it says Our Wonderful Adventure. And I believe this little alphabet set came out of another Echo Park kit. It was the sticker sheet, the bottom part of the sticker sheet of one of my beachy kits. I forget the name right now. But as you can see, it's super versatile. I did not need to use that exclusively with the beach themed paper, and I really like how it turned out. Now I feel kind of silly. I was thinking that I was so close to being done. I'm like, man, this layout came together really quickly. And then I realized that I had not adhered my photos or my journaling box down onto the paper. So I go back and do that. I try to overlap my pictures just a little bit to kind of cluster them together and give them a little more interest. But I did leave the journaling box off by itself because I wanted it to occupy that open space on the kind of wood grain. I didn't want it to be a vast expanse of that background paper. So I kind of put that second page off to the side, and I go ahead and grab the first page, work on that to adhere the photos exactly how I want them. So this, again, I do the same kind of thing. I put the photos just nestled together ever so slightly because I think it kind of clusters them together and makes it look really nice. So now I'm looking at both of my pages together and wondering, what do I want to do to embellish just a little more before I finish my page? So I grab that Happy Camper sticker set, pick out this cute little sticker that says The Great Outdoors, and I grab a few more of those stickers. Again, this is a collection that I have used almost all of, so there's not a whole lot of options left. I try to put that cute little tree somewhere, but it just is not working for me. But there are still a few more, and unfortunately, a few go over there on that right side that got a little bit cut off that you cannot see, but it says outdoor fun, and I have this cute little hedgehog sticker that I put, so sorry that got cut off. I do add that little arrow underneath the Great Outdoors, and I kind of tucked this little blue leaf underneath of it just to make it stand apart a little bit more from the background paper because it is very busy with all the different patterns going on. But after that, I grab a few more of these little stickers. I really like all the little tiny stars that are on that sticker sheet, and they're easy to spread around. I thought this little deer was super cute, so I tried to find a nice little spot. I thought I kind of wanted to overlap him on the page, on the pictures, but I ended up putting him over there on the side, and I add a bunch of these little stars around him. Now, that doesn't necessarily pertain to the page, but I thought it looked pretty cute. And like I said, I'm definitely trying to use up this little kit, just because I have so few papers and pieces left of it that I'd like to use it up so I can move on in my scrapping. I just add here a few more stickers, and I will complete my layout at that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.